Happy new moon in Sidereal Gemini, nakshatra of Ardra, the teardrop, and tropical Cancer. These two signs are relational signs. And what the new cycle is starting is one of the duality of dominance and relation. Its clarity could not be more stark at this point. I really hope that the energy changed for you this morning. It definitely did for me. The buildup of tension was intense, and it seems a little bit easier right now, but I mean, there's an element of contempt that we're dealing with. We are learning collectively. I took some notes, so that's what I'm referring to on how I woke up this morning. This is what I was feeling and understanding. Dominance denies relationality. It denies wholeness. It is a separatist view. And it's in defiance of truth. We are on a ball of rock, zooming around the cosmos, right? One spaceship. That's all we've got. Air, water, earth, and biotic life all together. Fire from the sun, coolness from the moon. And these two things together with Jupiter right now in the signs of relation, in Cancer and in Gemini, is teaching us that that relationship is reality. Wholeness is reality. And it does wax and wane as it seeks balance. And remember, we only have balance of light and dark 2 days out of the year. 2 days out of 365. So imbalance is the rule. And if I hold you, darkness or light, right, in contempt, when you want to be relational, it keeps you in a state of trying to meet my needs and not yours. And this is the basic principle behind patriarchy, capitalism, and whiteness. It is that these three things are contempt. And contempt is not wholeness. Contempt is forever war, right? This moon is showing us, the Emperor's new clothes, because that's really evident right now. Really obvious. Super easy to see if you look. You can fight for equality, but without resolving this contempt, the basic contempt of whiteness, patriarchy, and capitalism. I am higher than you. I am better than you. You serve my needs instead of serving the needs of the whole together, which is relational. It goes nowhere. We don't evolve in that state. And there is a higher power here. It is evolution. It is the whole of the biota. You can fight for control, but without admission that we are not the arbiters of our fate, that we are on a ball of rock zipping through space. Our life here devolves into forever war. And this new moon is bringing the clarity of that. The one up and the one down, the relations of contempt that are inherent in patriarchy, whiteness, and capitalism. Those are my notes now, finally, because there's been a lot of other things to do before this reading. But we're going to change this out, right? This is from the full moon, where we had aggression crossed by camouflage, founded in magic, and crowned in grace. The juxtaposition, fighting, hiding, magic, grace, moving away from the intellectualization, the weaving, the magical web, toward loyalty, a very biotic loyalty. We are becoming or begin boundaried. We are learning that the one up and the one down does not serve the whole. And we are becoming protective of the whole. We are surrounded by the spiral dance of wholeness. And we're admitting that. We hope and fear the ego, because the ego, you need one. You have to put the food in your mouth and not in my mouth, right? And that's exactly what we're talking about with this juxtaposition in patriarchy, whiteness, and colonialism. It's a mind job so that you put the food in my mouth instead of in your mouth. The only way to wholeness is by taking care of yourself, and by that, having the resources to take others. I mean, you can't take care of others. You can't pour from an empty cup, right? And the final lesson here is self-esteem. So this is a rebirth of self-esteem, of grace, and loyalty to self. I also want to relate to you one other thing that happened to me this morning. You know how much I love the South American turkey vultures that visit my neighborhood yearly. When they started in 2015, the beginning of a long cycle that's ending right now, there were 2. I literally saw them when they came to find their home. And today, as I went out for a walk with this beautiful Labrador that I hope you'll see in the coming days, because I'm going to do more with Belarus Naparstek's book for us, there were 12 at a minimum. And they greeted me like I had made it through a passage and back into the light, which I really, really have. And I really, really am trying to move forward in a way that seems very strange, even to me right now. To be moving at this point in 2025 is just beyond bizarre to me. But it is the path that has opened for me in my life. And we will see. We will all begin to see what happens when we assert ourselves and we say, you can't hold me in contempt. My service is valuable. I don't want to blame you, but I need to acknowledge the root of this thing, and I need to move on from it. And if you won't let me move on, then I will take my freedom and go. Take my freedom and go. Because there's a planet at stake. And the people who come after us absolutely have to have a ground to walk on and a sky to walk under. And we're here to make sure that that happens. We will not drop this ball. I didn't feel that way yesterday. I feel much more that way today. Om Doom Durgaye Namaha. Om Shrim Mahalakshmiye Namaha. Om Aim Saraswatiye Namaha. Now, as I move away from the ideology of religion and astrology as a thing other than interpretation, other than human interpretation of the stars in the sky, I will always keep these 3 goddesses, the generating, organizing, and delivering and destructive principles with me. Fear not. Om, om, om. Okay. As we move into this cycle, 30 days hence, right, with the full moon bringing us a clarity, we are secrets. I love this. It's a 9. This is a 9 year. 9 is a culmination number just before the 10, right? Completion. And it is talking to us about things that need to be revealed. It reminds me of DNA. It reminds me of all the physical processes that go on in the body that we can't see. And it reminds us of our relationship to the interior. So lynx, we are secrets. We are secret to ourselves. We are secret to each other. And as long as we are in a relationship of contempt, we will remain that way. I am secret. I am crossed by boundaries. Now, this, as opposed to how it was in the last reading, looks to me like separation. It looks to me like the secrets are about our wholeness and not what lies outside the boundary, but what lies within it. And expanding that boundary, right? Letting the boundaries relax. Letting them become more empathic, more porous. This involves a great deal of trust. If something is secret and it has a boundary around it, it's a safe secret and it will remain so. But if the boundary is porous, the secret will be told. I'm a terrible secret keeper, by the way. I believe in telling the truth. Just in case you wanted to tell me your secrets, don't. This is founded in cleansing. Yay! I've been waiting on this card. Man, I tell you. Oh, and the boundary is a 10. So the boundaries are complete and it's being washed away. Right? Here we have an 11. This is a 2. 2 together are 1. This frog has hopped into our card spread today to teach us the both and of land and water, the both and of sea and shore, and the both and of our bodies, our DNA. Something about us is being revealed to us through us, and it is divinity. It is nature itself. You know, the abundance of those turkey vultures. You start with 2. And from that, a multitude. We are crowned by Spirit. The Great Spirit, the One Spirit, the Wholeness. This crowning glory of soaring beauty, of divinity, of the way nature is our real connection. And it's not a relationship of contempt. That's like the very first PSI is that our relationship to nature is anything but nurturing and loving. I feel like I was shown that with those turkey vultures today. I feel like they iterated this to me. Big brown birds soaring in the sky. Always a wonderful thing in my world. Okay, we are moving away from that black magic. I'm sorry, I don't like to characterize darkness that way generally, but I think it's really how it's coming through. And I think with what we've seen in the last couple of weeks, with the resurgence of this terrible threat of nuclear destruction, and the way that we've been able in the last couple of days to just see through this veil of lies, this contempt, this mind job where, I need you to serve me. That's not true. We all need to serve each other, and we all need to serve the earth. We're getting turned around by patriarchy, whiteness, and of course, capitalism. We need to not let these things rule our lives. We need to let nature rule our lives, whatever that means to you, whatever spirit means to you. Moving away from that magic, which is a 7, which holds our healing in it, and moving toward dreaming. This is Neptune's influence on Saturn, wherever that falls for you in your zodiac of the moment. If you're sidereal or tropical, these two things are together, and they are like the dissolution of structures, of boundaries, of limitations. But it's not a steady and even dissolution, right? It's kind of like an iceberg melting. That's a good metaphor for it. This is you doing that thing that I was talking about in the astrology of this, of holding your highest and most unrealistic dreams as the shield that helps you walk through this unreasonable set of circumstances. Wanting nurturance and care for everyone equally on the planet is really an okay dream. As soon as somebody says, that's unrealistic, they're indoctrinated in these systems of whiteness, patriarchy, and colonialism. Don't listen. Listen to your heart. That's what I've been trying to say. I've been studying this since 2015, and this is what it's told me. Follow the dream of your heart. It's a 9. This is a 9 year. We have moved up in this reading. Last time we had 7s, and that was what we're moving away from now. Now we have 9s. We're moving toward abundance and completion. All right. We are becoming aggression. And in the last reading, this was in the center of what we were embodying. And all those demonstrations came up, didn't they? I'm not really one who thinks that demonstrations are doing much. I would much rather see people actually addressing these relationships of contempt and not letting it go. Contempt is killing Palestine. Somebody thinking that they're better than someone else is something we need to aggressively oppose. And I think we can. I think we can do it calmly. I think we can do it rationally. And I think we can do it without the forever war. But it's going to take a little bit more chutzpah. It's going to take a little bit more oomph. We need some moxie. And that's what I see this card as this time. Whereas before, we were just frustrated and unable to find fulfillment. There's a way. Now, all around us is the messenger, a 2. Just like the cleansing. Nature. Nature is going to be our messenger. There's a lot to what I just said, because nature is a both and proposition. It is not a relationship of contempt. It is a relationship that strives for 365 days towards balance and achieves it in 2. Only 2, right? Much more to say about that. Nature, the final arbiter, and the messenger here. We hope and fear building. And this is a 4. So it's a foundation. Everything that I said in yesterday's video, I hope came through as this is about a foundation of care. And we are both hopeful and fearful of that because it is very vulnerable. The foundation of patriarchy pretends invulnerability. We're on a ball of rock moving through space. We couldn't be more vulnerable. This little blue planet couldn't be more vulnerable. And the only way that we can protect it is through balance and love. The only way that we can protect it is in a both and way. And the only way that we can protect it is by moving out of contempt for each other. I have a snoring Labrador. I love that sound. All right. We end this in the dreamtime. This is a mysterious card. This is a card about the mystery. Go back to Leslie Marmon Silko's ceremony, right? There's a difference between the witches and the bear people. And the bear people accept humans into their families. And the bear people walk with us. But we have to learn how. We have to come to the messenger as a student. We have to learn that some things are not here for us to control. And that we need to accept the limitations of natural control. That we need to live in right relation. What a beautiful reading. Let's see what it's all about. It's all about deception. This is a 3, another foundational number, but it's a religious foundational number. This is about the deception of religion. I don't want to get preachy about this, but I do want to say that there is actual evidence. Please go look it up for yourself. The red heifer and the third temple prophecy. That everything that is happening with Israeli aggression, backed by the United States, is about religious prophecy and the deception of people thinking that they can bring either a second coming or a first coming of a Messiah. There is no one among us that is better than any of the others. And if you missed that in Jesus's gospel, you're not following him closely enough. Because, I'm sorry, I am getting preachy. I'm going to just settle down and take a breath there. Jesus asked us to love each other as we would love ourselves. And that is the message. That has always been the message. If you're holding someone else in contempt, see how that applies. And it's a great time to just spend some time with that. I definitely am going to link Sinead O'Connor's song, Thank You for Hearing Me, to this, which I wept to as I rolled through the forest this morning with this amazing Labrador. I don't want to say too much more. I don't want to go too long with this. I want you to draw your own conclusions, and I want you to be held as you rest in a loving and caring universe. No longer deceived, no longer secret from yourself by the boundaries and limitations that need to be cleansed from our spirits as we move away from the magic of an old contempt into the dream time of a new wholeness. As we begin to aggressively move toward that wholeness and no longer accept being held in contempt or holding others in contempt, the messenger of nature will come to support us in building a society based in care, which faces the mystery as a teacher and moves through the deception of the forever war. That's the best I got. Gosh, guys, thank you so much. Thank you.